For this lesson, we are going to be dividing polynomials, and it's actually part 2 where we're working with binomials and trinomials. And it's going to be really important that you need to remember factoring. So if factoring isn't one of your strong points, please go back and find my video because there are a few of them that tells you how to factor using a table or factor using foiling. And so we're going to just work through an example here, but again, there are other videos that you can refer to. So I have x squared minus 4x plus 4. My goal is to factor it into two binomials. So when I multiply them, it will end up equaling this. So remember, we always start with, this is letter C, and we're going to want to write the factors of letter C. Well, we know it's 4 times 1 or it's 2 times 2. And since this is a plus sign and I have a subtraction sign, I know both of them need to be negative. Well, if I do a negative 2 times a negative 2, I do get a positive 4. So this is going to be the factors, the numbers that I will be putting in. So remember, we put our x's there. And now for our sign, since they're both going to be negative, we're going to put our subtraction sign. And we said it was 2's. So let's check our work to make sure this would be the answer if I were factoring x squared minus 4x plus 4. So x times x, using the FOIL method, is x squared. The outside is negative 2 times x is negative 2. The inside is negative 2 times x is negative 2. So we end up with a negative 4x. And now we're going to multiply our negative 2's and we end up with a plus 4. So this example, again, is the skill that you will end up needing to do the division problems today. Let's look at number 1. We have x squared minus 3x plus 2 divided by x minus 1. Remember, we are going to have to keep this the same. We're going to change the sign to multiplication, and here we're going to flip it. We're going to write the reciprocal. So before I do any work, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. I'm writing x squared minus 3x plus 2, and I'm putting all of that over 1. I'm changing my sign to multiplication, and I am going to write the reciprocal of x minus 1, and that is 1 over x minus 1. And if I'm going to put my times sign there, just in case, so many x's that might end up confusing you. Well, I do see that I need to factor this, and sometimes this can be a helpful hint if you're not really good at factoring. But when we factor x squared minus 3x plus 2, we're going to have an x minus 2 and an x minus 1 for our factors. Again, that was all over 1. And now this is times 1 over x minus 1. Well, remember, we simplify at a diagonal. Is there a common factor of anything that we see? And we're very happy about that because we do see a common factor and these cancel out. And so now when we're multiplying, and this would just be a 1 there, we're going to multiply the quantity of x minus 2 times 1 is going to be x minus 2, and then 1 times 1 is 1. So our answer could be this, but the best format is just x minus 2. And there's our answer for the first one. All right, well, let's look at the second one. We have y minus 12 over 2y plus 3 divided by the trinomial of y squared minus 14y plus 24. So when we're working this problem, remember, we are going to go ahead and keep, change, and we're going to flip this. We're going to write the reciprocal. So I am going to write down y minus 12 over 2y plus 3. And I am now going to put my times sign. And this is over 1. So when we flip this, we have 1 over y squared minus 14y plus 24. Well, you know, I'm going to need to go ahead and factor this. And again, let this be a hint to you. Well, that's y minus 12, and I see factors of 24, 12 times 2, and if they're both negative, I'm going to have a negative in the middle. So I'm going to copy this down one more time. And this time, we're going to write the factored format for this. So we have a y and a y, and we do have a minus 12 and a minus 2. And that will give us this trinomial. And notice here, this is considered one factor. So my simplifying is going to definitely, the tip-off was that, hey, that was one of my factors. So now notice I have nothing else that I can simplify. So when we write this in our multiplication form, 1 times 1 is 1. And I have the quantity of 2y plus 3 times y minus 2. And I can actually go ahead and I can just leave it like that. I do not have to multiply it out. So this is going to be our final answer. And looking at the last one. So now for the last one, we have x squared minus 36 over negative 5x squared divided by x minus 6. So again, keep, change, and flip. I do not rewrite anything. I just keep it the way it is. There's my first term, the same. I'm changing my sign. And now I am going to go ahead and I'm going to put 1. This is, remember, we're going to write the reciprocal. So it's 1 over x minus 6. Okay? Looking at this now, I know that that is a difference of 2 squares. And to continue to work this problem, I'm going to actually bring it over here. Okay, so I'm going to break up my x squared minus 36 into x plus 6 and x minus 6. That is our difference of 2 squares. And now I'm going to go ahead and copy my negative 5x squared. And again, I'm going to make that a dot over 1 x minus 6. And you can see this term actually does end up getting simplified. There it is. So when we're looking at this, we end up with, when we multiply x plus 6 times 1, it's x plus 6. And a negative 5x squared, and this would be a 1, would be a negative 5x squared. So that actually is our answer. Because there is a plus sign, we can simplify. However, the best format when people you have a negative in the numerator or the denominator, you usually just put it out right in front of the fraction, because since this is positive and this is negative, our fraction is going to be negative. So it's x plus 6 over 5x squared. Either one of these answers would be correct. If this video was helpful to you today, please add a like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe for more Math with Marcia. See you again soon.